One of the most common equations I use in a Google Sheet is a vertical lookup, or VLOOKUP. And a VLOOKUP works pretty simply. What it'll do is it will search another area for a certain identifier. So in this case, it could be like a student ID, it could be a full name, something like that. And it'll be able to pull in the information in the row that identifier is found. So let's say I want to pull in just the scores. So here's my main data here. And I just want to pull in the scores related to that student ID. So what I could do is, in this next column here, I'm going to hit equals, and then the equation is VLOOKUP, and then I do my little parentheses here. And now I would always leave the help up. Sometimes it gets in the way, but it's always nice to have a reminder of what you're looking for. So the first part we're looking for is the search key, and that is, what is it going to look for? So I want to look for this unique identifier, the student ID. Then I put a comma. Now, where is it going to look for? That's the range. So I'm going to go back to my main data here. And so I got to make sure that my unique identifier is in that first column. So if your unique identifier is not in the first column that you're going to be searching, kind of just copy and paste that column over. So I'm going to click on and hold down the first cell that I need in the upper left. I'm going to go over until I get that data I want, and then I'm just going to kind of scroll down. So I have just now taken the range. Again, I just clicked and held down from the top left corner of the range I want, and I drag to the bottom right, and then I let go, hit comma. Now index is going to be which column is it going to look for. So B was the first column that I picked for my range. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the index I'm looking for is the 8th column. And false is because my data is not sorted. So sometimes if it can't find the number, it'll find the number right after where it was looking. So if you're looking for like 2001, it's not there. It'll look for 2002 or the next row after that. And I don't like that. So I'm just going to do with this. I almost always use this with a false. I hit enter, and you can see it pulled in that score. We can double check this. So I'm looking for student 2231. So I look down, and there's 2231, and score number 1 was 62, and there's my data. Now, in order to get this to work for the rest of my data, I'm actually going to go up here, and I have a couple options here. One is I could put $signs in front of the B and the 3, and in front of the I and the 22. What the $signs do is they lock that in, so that as I copy down my data, so here, you can see now it moved down. Now it's looking at A3. It's looking for that next student data, but it's still looking the same exact range as before. The other option is, instead of having the 3 there, I take that away. So B just means it'll go from the top of column B. And if I take away the 22, it'll go all the way to the bottom of column I. So it's going to look through that whole entire range for this. Now, the nice thing, if I hit that, you see if I copy this down, and again, I'm just clicking. So I'll show you this. I'm going to click the bottom right corner there, and I can drag down. You can see those boxes until it fills in. And if I double check my equation, you can see that the range has not changed. But it's still, now it'll keep going down to the next row and looking for this number now. So the important thing is that if you don't lock that range, either like this or set it where it's just going from the top to the bottom, what's going to happen is, as you copy that down, the range is going to go down a row at a time, and so you may be missing your data, because instead of looking from the top of this part here, if I copy down the equation normally, it would just start looking here. And so what if the data I was looking for was in the row above? So you do have to lock that in, or just do what I do is I remove the number so you can, from the top of one column to the bottom of the other. Now I take that equation, I'm just going to copy it, I'm going to put it into this column now. Now it's still looking for the 8th column in all of that data. If I go back to the main data, you see that score 2 is in column J. So I'm going to go back to my VLOOKUP, and instead of I, we'll go J. And now instead of the 8th column, it's 9. Again, my unique identifier that I'm searching for must be in that first column. And then this number is just how many columns out is the data I want to pull in. I hit enter, and there's my data. And again, I could just drag this down. Another fun thing, if you've locked in your numbers, if you just double click this little box here, it'll automatically fill into the bottom of your data. So that's kind of a nice little trick, save some time. So that's VLOOKUP. Double check that you're always locking in that, or that your range is not changing as you copy down the equation.